All praise to the Most High, AHAYAH, who is, who was, and is to come, the Almighty. Welcome here to Spirit of Truth broadcast here on AHAYAH'S house channel. My name is Brother Holly, and I will be your speaker on this Sabbath day. What I want to talk to you about in this second message for the Sabbath is how to be rescued out of captivity. Now, the Most High told the children of Jacob that because of their disobedience, because of their idolatry, because of them not following his laws, statutes, commandments, judgments, ordinances, and precepts, refusing to walk in his way, word, and will, and not obey his voice, that they would go into captivity. They would be scattered amongst the nations. But the Most High did not leave his people excuse me, without hope. He put in the word in the book of Deuteronomy in chapter 30 what they would have to do in the land of captivity in order to be rescued and brought back into the land of Canaan, their own land, which he promised to give to their forefathers. We, the children of Jacob, who have been scattered throughout the world, the time of our deliverance is drawing near. More and more of us are waking up to who we are. More and more of us are becoming compliant to the Most High's ways. More and more of us are obeying him and following after his spirit and believing in his holy son, Yahshua. As we go through the awakening process, if you will, we can rest assured and have great hope and great assurance of faith that the Most High has a rescue plan for us. We ain't gonna always be here in Egypt. We going home, children. Let's talk about it. Turn me to Deuteronomy chapter 30. Let's look at verse 1. And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon you, the blessing and the curse, which I have set before you, and you shall call them to mind among all the nations whither AHAYAH, your Most High, has driven you, and shall return unto AHAYAH, your Most High, and shall obey his voice, according to all that I command you this day, you and your children, with all your heart and with all your soul. That then, listen close, then, once we start obeying again, that then AHAYAH, your Most High, will turn your captivity and have compassion upon you, and will return and gather you from all the nations where AHAYAH, the Most High, has scattered you. It was AHAYAH, the great I Am, that scattered us. It will be AHAYAH who will gather us again through the power and in the name of his holy son, Yahshua. If any of them, verse 4, be driven out unto the uttermost parts of heaven, from there will AHAYAH, your Most High, gather you, and from there he will fetch you. And AHAYAH, the Most High, will bring you into the land which your fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it, and he will do thee good and multiply thee above thy fathers. And AHAYAH, thy Most High, will circumcise your heart. Now, in the scriptures, brothers and sisters, only the children of Jacob were promised to have our hearts circumcised. He never promised the nations to circumcise their heart. He never promised Egyptians that he was going to circumcise their heart. He never promised Assyrians or Americans. He never promised any Ishes, Eases, none of them people. He didn't promise the Chinese he was going to circumcise their heart, or the Japanese, or the Taiwanese, or any of the Ishes. He didn't promise the Jewish people he was going to circumcise their hearts. He didn't promise the English, the Spanish, none of those people. He didn't promise any of the Kanzans, Ishes, and Eases. He only promised the children of Jacob that he would sanctify and circumcise our heart. That's a key promise to remember. That's one way to know who you are in this world. Is your heart circumcised to obey the law, statutes, commandments, judgments, ordinances, precepts, to walk in his way, word, and will, and obey his voice? I'll read verse 6 again. And AHAYAH, thy most high, will circumcise your heart, and the heart of your seed, or your children, to love AHAYAH, the most high, with all your heart, and with all your soul, that you may live. And AHAYAH, thy most high, will put all these curses upon thy enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecute thee. Now, it is no secret that the children of Jacob, especially here in America and in the Western world, are persecuted greatly. It's no secret that the curses found in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, were perpetrated upon the children of Jacob in North America and the Caribbean islands, and in Europe, and in other parts of, in South America and other parts of the world. Those curses, most I said, when we sanctify ourselves unto him and allow him by his spirit to circumcise our hearts, to keep his ways, then he'll turn those curses around. He's going to reverse the curse, put the curses on those who persecuted us, put the curses on those who hated us, put the curses on those who drove us around and killed us, enslaved us, beat us, tortured us. The curses are falling on their heads. All praise to the Most High. I'll read that verse again, verse 7. And AHAYAH, your Most High, will put all these curses upon thy enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecute thee. And thou shalt return and obey the voice of AHAYAH, and do all his commandments, which I command you this day. And AHAYAH, your Most High, will make thee plenteous in every work of thy hand, and in the fruit of thy body, in the fruit of thy cattle, in the fruit of thy land, for good. For AHAYAH will again rejoice over you for good, as he rejoiced over your fathers. If thou shalt hearken to the voice of AHAYAH, the Most High, to keep his commandments and his statutes, excuse me, which are written in this book of the Torah law. And if thou turn unto AHAYAH, the Most High, with all your heart, excuse me, and with all your soul. For this commandment, which I command you this day, it is now hidden from you. It's right here in the book, children. Right here in the book. Neither is it far off. Verse 12. It is not in heaven, that you should say, who should go up for us to heaven and bring it unto us, that we may hear it and do it. Neither is it beyond the sea, that thou shouldst say, who shall go over the sea for us and bring it unto us, that we may hear it and do it. But the word is very nigh unto you, in your mouth and in your heart, that you may do it. Now, we find these same words almost verbatim spoken in Romans chapter 10. Now, Romans chapter 10 is very famous among the Gentiles for them teaching salvation, mostly for themselves. But when you closely read Romans 10, I'm turning to it now, please bear with me. When you closely read Romans 10, it tells a different story. You'll find out it's not talking about Gentiles at all. Let's start reading Romans 10, chapter 10, verse 1. Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to AHAYAH for Jacob is that they might be saved. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of AHAYAH, but not according to knowledge. For they, being ignorant of AHAYAH's righteousness, are going about to establish their own righteousness, and have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of AHAYAH. For the Messiah is the goal of the Torah law for righteousness to everyone that believes. Now, I'm sure in your Bible, if you have a King James, it said the end of the Torah. Messiah is not the end of the Torah. He said, I did not come to bring an ending to the Torah, but to fulfill it. So in the AHAYAH scriptures, it says that Messiah is the goal of the Torah law. Verse 5, for Moses described the righteousness which is of the Torah law, that the man which does those things shall live by them. But the righteousness which is of faith speaks on this wise, say not in your heart, who shall ascend into heaven? That's right out of Deuteronomy 30. That is to bring Messiah down from above. It talks about the word in Deuteronomy. Here it's talking about the actual person who is the word, Yahshua the Messiah. Or who shall descend into the deep? That is to bring up Messiah again from the dead. But what saith it? The word is nigh thee, even in thy mouth and in thy heart. That is the word of faith which we preach. Now, that word, it's called the word of faith that's being preached, but in the book of Deuteronomy it told you that this is the word that you're supposed to do. Did not the apostle James tell us, be ye doers of the word, not hearers only, deceiving your own selves? Stop being self-deceived. You hear the word, you obey it. That's faith. To hear the word and obey is faith. Now verse 9, see, again, this was Paul's prayer, Paul whom you trust, his prayer for Jacob, the children of Jacob. Verse 9, that if thou shalt confess with thy mouth, Master Yahshua, and believe in your heart that AHAYAH has raised him from the dead, you shall be saved. For with the heart man believes unto righteousness, and with the mouth confession is made unto salvation. The word is nigh unto us. The word is in our hands and in our laps, on our coffee tables. We need to take that word, put it in our mouths, put it in our hearts. Hear the word and obey. Follow the voice of the Most High. All praise to AHAYAH.